develop technology. Technology consists of tools, machines, materials, plans, and procedures that aid in the production of goods and services. A technology may be rather basic, such as a rug created by hand. Or complicated, such as an automated weaving machine. Regardless of its sophistication, technology usually evolves from people's need to increase production. Today, India is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, with nearly 900 million people living in a landmass roughly half the size of the continental United States. Many of India's economic activities are devoted to meeting the subsistent needs of their own population. Utilizing India's vast land and water resources, the people use rivers to irrigate more than 40% of the arable land. Although simple by some standards, advancements in methods of irrigation are a result of technological development. These irrigation systems increase the production of crops, which feeds more people. Technology, such as a sewing machine, may increase individual productivity. Advanced technology, such as a hydroelectric dam, can increase group productivity. In this case, water power is harnessed and used for a large region and group of people. The development of technology may depend on a culture's access to materials and information. For that reason, technological differences exist among many of the Earth's cultures. For example, Denmark is a country famous for its pastries and baked goods. Danes and tourists alike purchase many baked goods every day. As a result of the materials and information available to them, the Danes have equipped their bakeries with advanced technology for the maximum output of goods. By contrast, many in Egypt still rely on wood-fired ovens for baking bread. The output of wood-fired ovens is not as high as the high-tech mixers and ovens used in Denmark. Some cultures are highly industrialized, with economic activity centered around large areas of production, such as factories. Other cultures may rely heavily on cottage industry, in which production is performed on a smaller scale, such as in one's home. Some cottage industry production is still performed without advanced technology. These Swedish glassblowers are skilled craftsmen who produce beautiful pieces by hand. Made in limited supply, they're sold for a greater price because of their handmade artistry. No person can possibly produce everything he or she needs or wants. For that reason, cultures develop economic systems to organize the exchange of goods and services among people. Barter, the simple trade of one item for another, is one form of economic exchange. For example, someone growing vegetables may trade with someone producing meat. Each person is using his or her available resources to obtain what he or she needs. As cultures develop more complicated systems of production through industrialization, they need to develop more sophisticated economic systems of exchange. In most cultures, currency has replaced the barter of goods. A monetary system facilitates the exchange of goods. When people are paid money for their work, they can then spend the money they've earned on meeting their subsistent needs or wants. Along with the development of currency came the need for regulation. Regulation can vary within different cultures. A free market economy is one concept used to organize economic activities. A free market economy is consumer-driven and ruled by competition. It's not controlled by one person, organization, or institution. In a free market economy, companies must decide how much to produce each year. A company must construct a budget and determine its manufacturing costs, such as the price of raw materials, how much to pay assembly line laborers and management, and the costs of production equipment. Once a company knows the costs of manufacturing, it can then determine how much money to charge for the product. The price needs to be competitive, cover the costs of production, and allow the company to make a profit. A command economy is another example of an economic concept used to regulate economic activities. In a command economy, the government owns all significant enterprises and closely regulates all economic activities. In a command economy, the government typically controls the majority of wealth, dictates the rights of individual workers, and manages all elements of production. In most economies, it's more likely that the distribution of wealth will be skewed toward the people who control the means of production, who own the natural resources, or whose services are in the greatest demand. Therefore, the distribution of wealth is likely to be uneven throughout the culture. There are many economic factors to consider when studying a culture. To recap, it's important to observe how topography, climate, and natural resources influence the economic activities people perform. Remember that members of a culture meet their needs through the production of goods and services. There are three types of production in most cultures: service, industry, and agriculture. Understanding these economic factors will help greatly in learning how to study the various cultures of the world.